plan today, I'm looking at my list, is a couple of upside down things. And then I want to go upside down a different way than we usually do. So we'll kind of play around with that a little bit today. And then we'll get lots of leg stuff going on. So we stretched them all out yesterday, and now we'll just tighten them back up. So good. You guys have any requests or any like things going on in your bodies I gotta know about? Yeah.
No,
cool.
nothing in particular.
Sounds good. Just the usual.
Yep.
Cool. Let's get into it. Let's start with a couple of moon squats, and then we'll 360 it up. All right. So let's go feet nice and wide. You guys are like moon squat experts now, huh? So high. Squat back. Good. So make sure when you squat back, you put a lot of weight in your heels, and you're really kind of reaching for a chair that's like too far behind you. Good. And then take it back up. Good. And then alternate arms. I'm never going to claim to be great at that. Nice big stretch. Oh. Good. All right, so looking for big, full range of motion with the arms as you go out and around and reach back all the way up. Good. And then just that big squat back. Using your hamstrings and your glutes. And then press up using your glutes and your quads. Okay, so let's do 3 more like this. Okay, nice big reach up, nice and high. And when you exhale, make sure you round forward a bit, chin to chest. Big stretch through the shoulders as well. Good, last one, big reach up. And then squat back. Woo. Good, and then take it up. And let's do a couple of big circles for the arms. Get into all kinds of shoulder things too. Reverse it. Good. All right, and then do a quick safety check. Make sure your carabiners are all the way closed, you're clipped all the way in, handles in, main slings in. Good, everything's looking safe. Awesome. And then we'll jump into those dynamic crescent lunges. So coming right in front of that trapeze is the, I don't use the positions often, but position 1 is the right in front of the trapeze. And then grab high handles, kind of squat down into a chair, and then take a big, big step forward with the right leg. That's it. Looking for that big stretch on the left hamstring or left hip flexor. You can take it kind of into a little back bend. If it feels okay to let your head fall back, you can do that. Yeah. Good. And let's step it back forward. And we'll take the left leg, big step forward. Lots of leg work today. Just making sure as you're working out through the legs that everything, feels safe, feels challenging, but doable. Nothing's like past that. Good, let's take it back. Come back to the right side. As always, right, if something doesn't work, leave it. You can also ask for modifications too, so let me know if something's not working. Good. One more time on the left side. Big step forward. You can use your arms to help lift you up. Good. Your hands will shake out, circle out. Awesome. those 360s. Back to the high handles. Just burning up that grip strength right away. Lower down into chair. And then find your circles. Go nice and slow, especially through this first pass. Try not to get tangled too much in the main sling. Good, and then reverse it next time you're feeling even. Nice. Good. And we'll come back to center. Give it a good shake out again. Stretches. Yikes. I'm feeling sore today. Good. We'll try to do some hangs. Hopefully we didn't just burn out too much of the grip strength. But you know, we'll go for what we can. 1 sec, I forgot to set up my timer. And I don't want to give us, you know, more than the 30 seconds I'm going to say we're going to do. All right. Here we go. We're going to start with active. So grab onto the position 1 again, right? Grab onto those high handles, squeeze your shoulder blades, and then make sure that you pull your belly button up and in, feeling like your low back is neutral and really long. It's not tucked and it's not rounded, so it's just nice and even. And then go ahead and lower down whenever you're ready. Drop it down. We got 30 seconds on the clock. Remember, you always have options to keep your feet on the floor or to cross your ankles. You can lift the knees up or kind of let your knees fall towards the floor. Any of those are great. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing the shoulders so all the weight is around the shoulder blades. You're kind of pulling the muscles in. Woo. Last 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down.
Oh boy.
Woo! Wrists are feeling tight today. We'll do a nice big wrist stretch in a little bit. Good. Let's do our second one, active or passive. Remember, passive is where the joint holds all of your weight, so you don't squeeze your shoulders, you just let your shoulders hang. So I'm going to lead you through passive. Feel free to take the active one like we just did if you like. So if you're going passive, you're just lowering down into the chair, letting your biceps come up by your ears. And then you can do whatever you like again with your feet. So I like to walk them forward for chair pose, or you can cross your ankles. Once again, let the knees lower, although a couple inches lower to the ground, so that might let your knees touch the floor. So depending on what you want, you can find a good position that works for you. Okay, we got 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done, everybody. Woo! Oh. Press those wrists out.
I'm looking forward to being upside down. I just noticed my feet are so puffy today.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, everybody, right? It's just been so hot. I think that's so, yeah. Mine too. Not that I've worn shoes much. I always try to avoid that, but nothing new is there. Well, that's the next thing we're going to do. So whenever you're ready, make your way upside down. You need a little more time stretching those wrists. Feel free to do it. We can also do some wrist stretches upside down. Just make sure that your main sling is all one color on top and those black clips are pulled all the way down to where the threading is. And then I'll see you upside down. make your way here, just find a nice position that feels good to start. Maybe turn your head a little bit side to side, or shake it yes and no. Nice, and let's start with the wrist stretch. So put your palms on the floor with your fingertips, how do I say this? Facing, if they were far forward, they'd be facing your face, I guess. Does that make sense? And then turn them backwards. So you're gonna turn them around, so the opposite direction than you would normally put them on the floor, and then press the backs of your hands down. Yeah. And then pick one hand up at a time and spread your fingers out as wide as you can, and then press them back down on the floor. Good. Nice, and then pick them up, shake them out a little bit, and then put the back of your hands on the floor, and we're gonna kind of like roll forward and back on the hands. You can add a little swing with the trapeze, so it feels like you're on a swing, but you're just kind of rolling over your fingertips. So palm touches, roll the fingertips, and then back of the hand touches, back and forth a couple times. Not super stretchy. It's kind of a nice fluid motion for the wrist. All right, give me one more shake out. And then take your hands together behind your back and release your fingers and let your hands fall down towards the floor. And then turn your neck around a little bit. So you could go ear to shoulder. Sometimes that doesn't feel quite as nice when you're upside down. I actually really like to turn my head all the way to the side and then go ear to shoulder. So I'll turn my face to the left and then try to touch my left ear to my left shoulder. But feel free to move your head around in any way that feels right. Nice, and then bend your elbows. Let your hands fall back down to the floor. And then walk your hands way away from you for banana pose. So go as far forward as you can, glue your hands down to the ground, and then let the trapeze pull your hips away. So like you're trying to be pulled in two directions. Shake your head up 3 times, yes and no. Good, and then let's walk to the right today. So walking both hands off to the right. Left hand's gonna glue down to the floor, right hand's gonna come up to your thigh or the middle handle or maybe the main sling, and then you're gonna look towards the right shoulder. Take some big breaths. See if you can get your intercostals, those muscles between your ribs, to stretch. And then slowly, right hand comes down. We'll walk through center. So walk out first and then walk over to the left. So you're trying to keep as much length as you can. And then left hand will go up. Main sling, thigh, middle handle, whatever you like. And then looking towards that left shoulder. Good. And then let left hand go. Walk back to the middle. Ooh, and then nice and slow, make your way back up to a seat. When you come back up, just take your time. We'll stay seated. Woo. That's why you don't stand up right away. Just stay in your seat and then pull that fabric forward towards your knees. If you like, you can bring your arms around. You can stack your arms and let your head fall forward. You can just kind of just hang for a moment. Let's find a couple of ankle circles. Good, and then reverse them. And then point and flex a couple times. Okay. All right, we're coming up for a couple of assisted hangs next. So grab onto the high handles again. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull your belly button up and in so your low back feels long. And then head over your spine. So just push it back like you're sitting in your car right against the headrest. Good, take a big breath in. On your exhale, pull up. Woo! And get your hips unweighted. Maybe they lift all the way out of the trapeze. Keep pulling. We're holding for 30 seconds. Keep squeezing with your shoulders. Good. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Shake it out. Couple of shoulder rolls. All right, second set. Grab those high handles. Here we go. Squeeze your belly button, squeeze the shoulders, head back. Let's go. Keep squeezing your shoulders. Keep pulling, lifting up. Keep breathing. Feel all the muscles kind of wrap around the shoulder blades, stabilizing and lifting. Almost there. That's 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lower down. Nice. Good. Let's put your feet in the long handles and we'll take a nice forward fold. I like to have the black handles down, so if they're not already down, put them in the center. Yeah, that long handles. And we'll just lean on forward, reach for your toes. Let your chin fall towards your chest, forehead towards the shins. See if you can find a hamstring stretch. Nice, and then we're gonna take this into a twist. So sit back up, and then we'll take, if your hands are reaching forward, take your right arm out and around, kind of like you're in a warrior two. And then take your left hand either on the long handle, maybe down to your leg. Those are probably the best spots, probably the leg. And then kind of twisting open towards the right. So you're gonna look over your right shoulder. Make sure that you keep your low back and your spine really long. So keep lifting up through the crown of your head and keep your core engaged as you look over the right shoulder. Okay, and then we'll swap it out. We'll come back to center. Both arms are forward, then the left arm will go back through the trapeze. Right hand's gonna come somewhere on the left leg. Sit up really tall, lift up through the crown of your head, and then gaze over towards the left shoulder. Good, and then nice and slow, we'll come back to the center. Good, and then take your feet out of the main sling. And then bicycle that main sling back underneath you like you're backing a swing on a playground. Good. And then we're gonna go back this time, but instead of wrapping your legs, we're gonna keep them in a wide V. I'll give you a quick demo. Trapeze got a little twisted. There we go. Good. So normally when we come back, we'll wrap the legs, but instead, let's keep your legs in a wide V and see if you can bring your thighs on this side of the trapeze and then reach down for the floor. But be careful, right? Because now we're not locked in with the feet. Keep your legs as wide as you can. Yeah, Christy, go ahead and use those walls. Yep.
Doorway cheat.
The perfect place for that. So we're in like a straddle pose, but upside down, right? Imagine yourself doing a crazy handstand split duo thing. Good. So we're going to take this into whatever version of toe taps your body wants to do. So if you're not quite sure what that means, you can check me out. I'm going to try to reach my toes. So I'm going to reach up, ooh, and lower back down. They're like really intense crunches. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to lift your upper body, reach towards your toes, and then lower it back down. I'm going to go for about 30 seconds. So come up, hold for a moment, and then lower. These are killer. So much stabilizing going on, right, you guys? Last 10 seconds. 2, and 1. Nice. And we'll just come right back up. You sweating? Not like it takes much these days. Back up.
Yeah, it's a little humid in here.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna come back out and do some upper body work before we do some more leg stuff. All right. Grab a quick sip of water so you guys make sure we're staying nice and hydrated. Then we're gonna come into some scapular rows. So these are the ones where you grab the middle handles and you walk it back, excuse the backside view. So you're gonna lean back, and then remember you're just squeezing the shoulder blades together and then lowering them back down. So you're squeezing up, you're lifting up maybe an inch or two, and then lower back. Looks good. All right, body's in like a total plank position. Just the shoulders are moving, the rest of you is aboard. That feels really easy. Take a step or two forward. Good, looking good. We got 10 more seconds. Squeezing in and release. Good, last 3, 2, And one, nice, walk it back. Good, take a little rest. Roll up the shoulders a couple times. We're gonna take a second set right away. We're gonna do a couple of different exercises and we're gonna do it like that. So we'll go first set, little break, second set. Here we go, we got 30 seconds on the clock. Grab those middle handles, walk forward enough that it feels pretty challenging, and then lift and lower. Good. Nice strong plank, make sure your elbows stay straight. Just lifting through the shoulders. Nice, last 10 seconds. Good, here's 3, 2, and 1. Nice, take it up. Roll it out a little bit. All right. A couple of circles will feel good after that. All right, and then we're coming down for ring holds next. So before you come down, make sure that on the long handles, the black clips are pretty far up, like halfway up the handle, so they're not gonna be in your way. Then, let's see. Probably the easiest way to do this one is to stand on your knees and then cross. So you're gonna cross your calves behind you. You're supposed to be in like a seated position, but usually the trapeze is a little too far off the floor to be completely like sit down, although you could give it a try. So you're gonna put your palms on the black handles. Elbows will bend into the trapeze. So my elbows are, yeah, exactly. My elbows are going between the two parts of the trapeze. And then you're gonna press up and then try to lift your knees up. So you can totally have your feet on the floor. You can be anywhere along there. We're gonna hold for 15 seconds because this is quite a bit harder than all those scapula holds. That's it. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lower down, take a little break, shake it out. Woo!
That was a long 15 seconds.
Do feel like forever. All right, let's cross the other leg on top, and we'll get ready for a second set. So pressing your palms down, elbows bend. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go. Lift it up. Press down. Whoop. Press down to lift up, right? So you're pressing down, trying to lift the shoulders up. Good. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nice job. Shake it out, circle it out. Whew. We're gonna stay on the floor. Move the black handles out of the way. We're gonna get in here for some plank ladders. So that means you gotta get your feet in the trapeze, right? So here's where that kind of crazy cross thing comes in. So you put your left foot in the right handle and your right foot in the left handle. So you've crossed on top, and you'll twist towards that top leg. And usually you can come down onto your knees with your feet in the air. Yeah, perfect. Good. And then walk back until you feel like you can safely put your hands underneath your shoulders. Good. And then when you're ready, you press up into a plank. Good. All right, so we got 30 seconds. First option is to stay here in plank. Second option is to lift one hand at a time. Third option is to lower elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. If you're lowering down to elbows and wrists, try to switch hands. We only got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees, take a little break. Try to keep your feet captured. All right, we ready for a second set? Can't wait. So happy. All right, let's go. Hands under the shoulders. Cuff up your upper back. Press down and lift up. Beautiful. Good. So you're taking your options. Remember, you can hold it. You can lift one hand and then the other. Woo. You can drop down and lift up. You got it. Nice, almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good, come on out. All right.
I'm paralyzed. I can't move anymore.
Are your arms jelly now?
It's on my tummy.
Good, let's grab a quick sip of water. Stretch it out a little bit. Oh, hi, Lucy. Let's grab onto the middle handles and we'll do a quick peck stretch. So you'll just turn those handles sideways and then walk it forward. And then I like to kind of lean to one side and then the other. Those plank ladders, man.
I aspire someday.
You will. Good. All right, let's walk it back. Then you're gonna step back into position 1. Put your arms through the trapeze. And then you're gonna lower down, letting the trapeze basically hang in your armpits. It's really flattering, but you know. If you can, sometimes it feels like way too much to have it totally there. So if you slide it down a little bit, so it's sort of like, kind of at like your bra line, you know? And there's a little bit less of that pressure right in the armpits. And then from here, we're gonna do a couple of leg lifts. So hopefully you guys have a little left in you. Lots of stretching after this. So leg lifts first and then lots of stretching. So walk your feet out so they're kind of in a chair position. And then kick your right leg straight out and point your toe. Good. You should feel your left leg. You're pressing down into the left heel, squeezing your left glute. And then we're just gonna lift and lower. Yep. Tap and lift. We're going for time again. Going for 30 seconds. Feel free to hold on to anything. Long handles. Probably the long handles are the best, right? You can also kind of wind your arms in the middle handles if that feels good. Almost there. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. The whole shake out. Woo. We're working tonight. Right, left side. So make sure your right heel is directly underneath the knee. Squeeze the right glute, press down into the heel, and then pick that left leg up. Point your toe, tap and lift. Going for 30 seconds again. Straight leg, squeeze your right glute, use your left quad and hamstring, right? Lift in and lower in, 10 seconds. Good, 2, and 1, shake it out. Okay, little butterfly shakes. Shake, shake, shake. Good, coming in for our second set. So left heel under the knee, right leg lifts. Let's go for 40 seconds this time. Lift in and lower and tap that toe. You can always bend your knee if you need it to be a little bit less intense. Press into the left heel. And keep working on the left side with stability. Belly button pulls up and in. Neck and shoulders as relaxed as you can get them. Go, we're almost there. We get 10 more seconds. Good, here's 3, 2, and 1, relax. Good work. Good work in those hips. It's a hip stability. All right, let's set it up on the other side. Right heel's under the knee, press into the heel, squeeze the glute, left foot up. Let's go, we got 40 seconds. Good, keep pressing down to lift. Squeeze the right glute. Relax your neck and shoulders. Belly button pulls up and in. That's it. Almost there, last 10. Good, keep pressing onto your right heel. 3, 2, and 1, good job. Good, all right, we're gonna get some nice leg stretches. We're gonna take a figure 4. You guys okay with this main sling underneath your arms like that? Yeah, okay, cool.
It's okay.
We're saving the grip strength. So cross in one leg over the other knee, and then let your hips really drop down. So you should feel that in the glute of that cross leg. And then feel free to keep your ankle pretty stable, but you could twist a little bit side to side. Just make sure your knees feel okay with that. Good. Couple of deep breaths in and out. Swap out which leg is on top. Feel free to move around a little bit, just kind of exploring how it feels to twist a little towards the right or the left. let's put left foot down and we'll just come on up to standing. Shake it out a little bit, grab a sip of water. Good, and then we'll come back behind the trapeze. We're gonna take it forward into a downward facing dog. So walk in, arms come through, and then bunch up that main sling so you can get it right on, kind of like on the hip bone. I like to come up onto my tippy toes to help kind of put it in place. So bend my knees a little bit, hinge at the hips, and then you can kind of lock the trapeze into your hip crease. And then it won't move as you get your hands to the floor. Good. Once you get your hands down, then you can walk your feet back. And we'll let that main sling just lift your hips up. We'll take a couple of breaths here and just this normal down dog. Nice traction for your low back. You'll reach the hands forward. Let's take a twist here. So left hand stays, right hand's gonna reach to the outside of your left shin, and then look underneath the left shoulder. Yeah, good, looks good. And let's swap. Right hand comes down, left hand to the outside of your right shin, looking underneath the right shoulder this time. And left hand comes back down. And let's walk your hands back so that your hands come kind of underneath the shoulders, and then your toes will start to lift up off the ground. And then you can stay there, or you could bend your knees and cross the ankles and pull your knees in towards your chest. You can either keep your hands on the floor. If it feels okay to put all that pressure on your hips, you could take your hands to your knees and kind of pull your knees in towards your chest. It's called embryo, right? So you're making yourself into a tiny little egg. And then here's where we're gonna go upside down in the way that we don't normally. Your upper body's gonna stay where it is, but legs are gonna straighten back out. And then see if you can bend your knees and get your feet to touch the main sling. Now you have to do it by feel. So hands to the floor, bend your knees and try to get your toes to touch the main sling. Once you find it, you can slide your feet up and then wrap your feet around the main sling. Easier said than done. So just take a little bit of time. Yeah, it looks like you guys are getting it. And then once your feet are touching it, slide your feet up. And then you can press your hands down, kind of lift up. It'll feel almost like banana pose that we did earlier. And walk your hands forward and let that main sling pull you backwards. And you'll get an even deeper stretch all the way into the shoulders. Yeah, perfect. Get your head head out a few times, yes and no. And just keep walking those hands forward. Your giant piece of taffy just being pulled apart. Good. And then nice and slow, walk your hands back under your shoulders. You might wrap one or both hands on the long handles to let your feet come back down. Good. And then once your feet are all the way forward, we'll walk your feet forward so they come underneath your hips. And then we'll hang here for a forward fold. Let's see if you can find a pretty deep hamstring stretch. So don't lock out your knees, but keep your legs pretty straight. If you want to, you can put your hands behind your calves and just gently pull your upper body towards your legs. But don't force anything. Be real gentle about it. Good. Good. And then we'll start to come up about halfway. Bend your knees, press into your heels, gently come all the way up to standing. Okay, grab another sip of water. Doing good? Feeling good? Feeling good, Jody? Yeah. Good, Christine, feeling good? Awesome. Put your black handles back down on the long handles. Black handles on the long handles. You guys know what I mean. We're gonna get back into the main sling like we were before with it under your underarms, but also this time with your feet in the handles. So walk back, put your hands through, and then kind of lower down first, but keep some of the weight in your feet. So sort of like you're in a chair pose. And then pick up one foot, and then make sure that you push down into that foot, and then lift the other one up. So now we're distributing the weight a little bit better, might feel a little bit nicer on the shoulders. So we're gonna come into a couple of stretches for your legs, like this. We'll start with a straddle pose. So as you're ready, you're gonna straighten your legs out to the sides. Careful not to lose your hands. There we go. Nice improvising there, Christine. You got enough room?
I might have to try the other way next time.
The rest of them, hopefully will work for you. We'll see. You might have to adjust a little bit. And then we're going to take this into a hip flexor stretch. So here's the one, Christine, that I hope will work for you. We'll see. So if you bend your knees sort of like you're coming into a butterfly, and then keep your right knee bent. Left leg is going to completely turn around until your knee is kind of touching the floor almost. So it sort of looks like you're in this weird sprinter pose. And then you're going to straighten out your legs. You know, to whatever degree they're going to straighten, right? So looking for a hip flexor on the back leg, hamstring on the front leg. And you can really kind of force one or the other, right? So if you keep the front leg bent, you can lean into that back hip if you're wanting more of a hip flexor stretch. and vice versa, right? If you straighten that front leg, you can kind of press down into that front foot and it'll give you more of a hamstring stretch. It just depends on what you're feeling like you want or what the room you're in allows for. You feel like you're suspended, like you're running but frozen in space. Such a funny
position. You could run like this.
With like zero effort. All right, so you're gonna press down into the front foot first, and then bring your other leg back up and around. Your handle might have moved a bit, so if you've got to move it around, make sure you adjust that. And we'll come back into that kind of butterfly-ish pose. And then right leg this time, knee's gonna bend into center and then down towards the floor. And then front leg might kick out. Maybe not, you know. If I kick against the wall, then I can really get both. Okay, nice slow breaths, you guys. And we'll nice and slow come back to center. So press into the left foot so the right leg can twist, and then we'll actually come into a butterfly pose. This one might actually work better without the handles, I think. Scooch into the side and let your feet come together to touch. And see if you can get your knees to just really relax and flop open. It feels okay. You might even take a back bend with your upper back. So it feels okay to let go if you're holding on. To bring your arms out. Yep, lift your chest up and let your head fall back. It might feel nice to kind of move your arms and like snow angel arms. The pressure of that main sling is getting like right to some muscles. It kind of feels like a bit of a massage if you're in the right spot. Nice. And then nice and slow, you know, bring your upper body back up. You might grab back onto the middle handles, just straighten through the legs, and then one at a time go. We'll gently come back up to standing. If you need a little stretch out, feel free to take that. A lot of pressure in the upper back today. And then we're going to cocoon it. So when you're ready, Bring these flat clips back up. Fan out your trapeze. And then as you get in, if you have just enough fabric to get to your knees, that'll make sure that your head will be held up by the fabric. So you can slide in and then just pull it to your knees, and then pull the rest of that fabric up behind you, and then slowly lay back down. Good. And if it feels like you've got enough space, you can put your feet in. You can slide your feet in. You might even take a butterfly pose with your feet. And we'll take a few moments here to relax and just rest. Feeling peaceful. I'm going to try to play the singing bowl for you guys today. I hope it comes through on the speaker as well. Take another deep breath in and a slow breath back out. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And as you come back into your body, find some gratitude for yourself and for each other. I'm so grateful that you two continue to come and play upside down with me. This is so fun to teach. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming, and have a fantastic night.